Today we're looking at the blade valve lubricant. Here we have the Camco brand, but you can use any brand out there. This is something that you should do every once in a while. Of course, it depends on how much you're using the camper as to how often you should lubricate the valves. You've got normal valve lubricant, and then you've got when you've got sticking valves. If you find it hard to open the valves, you may want to lubricate and use a little bit more and do it a little more often. But today we're going to show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and walk inside the camper and get started. Now that we're inside the camper, we're simply going to pour 2 to 4 ounces into each tank. 1 into the black tank through the toilet. Now, determining which 2 ounces or 4 ounces you use depends on how often you lubricate and if you're actually having issues with the blade valves. If they're sticking, you'll want to go ahead and use about 4 ounces. If not, 2 ounces should be enough. Now, before you do any of this, all of your tanks should be emptied. So we're pouring into an empty tank at this point. Simply take the lid off. You can either get something to measure it out or eyeball it, and then pour a little bit down into the toilet. Once you've poured it into the toilet, you'll flush it, let it go down into the tank. Now we'll want to do the same thing down into the gray tank. We can do that as well here in the bathroom. You just simply pour about 2 ounces down through the tank. Now here, since we're pouring it in, it's going to go down and it's going to hit our backflow preventer valve, which that's very important because we want it to lubricate that valve as well. Now we'll go over to the kitchen. We can pour some down the kitchen drain. That one is going to lubricate our gray tank blade valve. Here again, we'll either want to pour the 2 or 4 ounces based on what we're wanting to do with the valves. But you take the lid off and just pour it straight down the drain. Once you feel like you've gotten enough down the drain, now you've got it in all your tanks against all your blade valves. At this point, it depends on what you're wanting to do. You can either work the valves at this point to let a little bit by, go ahead and fill the tank to dilute it a little bit and drive down the road so it kind of works against the blade valve. And then when you get to the next campground, work the blade valve a little bit. Let's go ahead and step outside so I can show you how we would work those blade valves. Now here at the blade valves, we'll want to exercise the blade valves, and this is the case where I have a sticky blade valve. You'll simply work the blade valve a few times, each one, and then stop. Now go ahead and resume your normal activities at this point, leaving some of that lubricant in the tanks to work their magic.